Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome to my channel. So today I was going to record outside because it's really nice outside. It's like 89 degrees, but there's a freaking helicopter flying around and it's really loud. It seriously will just continuously go around in circles, and I don't know, I guess that's California for you. But I'm recording in my bedroom because the lighting is actually pretty nice in here. Hopefully anyways. I might think that and then watch this video and think, what the hell were you thinking, Hannah? But I'm recording in here, so it's a little bit different. If the sound's bad or if you hear weird things, that is my apartment complex. So today I'm going to be going over some of my pet peeves. Some people might have the same pet peeves. If you do, comment down below or tell me what your pet peeves are. So my first pet peeve is when people give me like unwanted advice, or not really like unwanted, but like they tell me things that I already know that like I obviously know. It's kind of like, okay, like you don't need to tell me that, I already know that, or that's kind of obvious. So I kind of just like go with it. I'm like, yeah, alright, thanks, okay, instead of like being rude about it. But it just like annoys me, like with the planning a wedding, they're like, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. I'm aware of that, I already got it done, but thanks. Also, if my camera is a little shaky, it's because I do have my tripod on my bed and my dog's walking around. So, what are you doing, Japan? What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, so this is something that has like bugged me my entire life. Not entirely as much now, just because I've gained a little bit of weight, but people would always acknowledge the fact that I was small. They'd be like, oh my god, you're so skinny, you're so tiny, and I'm like, thanks, like that's what I want to be told every day. Or right when they see me, they're like, oh my god, you're so cute, you're so tiny, like that's the first thing that they say to me, and I'm like, you want me to like you, be your friend? That's not how you're gonna approach me. I just kind of consider it being kind of rude, because like, I mean, you don't tell people, oh my gosh, you're fat, or like right when you meet them, like, oh my god, you're so cute, you're so fat, like what? No, like you don't say those things like it. And I think people like kind of just assume that if you're calling somebody skinny, like it's not rude, like you're not being rude or disrespectful, but like you are. Like it hurts my feelings. Like I hate it when people would tell me that I need to eat, or they're like, go to McDonald's. Like, thanks. I just tell myself not to eat every day. That's why I'm so skinny. I've literally had people ask me if I was like anorexic or bulimic, and I'm like, no, like that's not how I am. Like I just had like a really slow metabolism, but luckily as I've gotten older, like I guess that's slowed down a bit, because I've actually been able to gain weight. Like I used to weigh like 80 pounds, which when I look at pictures from back then, I'm like, holy shit, Hannah, like you were tiny, like no wonder people call me a too thick. But that is just, that's my biggest pet peeve. Or when people tell me, they're like, oh, you're too tiny, you can't have kids. Thank you, I didn't know you were a doctor, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty capable of having children, thanks. That is one thing, like if you want to piss me off, tell me that. So another thing that bothers me is like when you're eating and somebody says ew to the food that you're eating. Like they're like, ew, what is that? Like, excuse me? Like, no, that's a little, I don't know, it like makes me feel awkward about eating after they say that. Like I feel like, oh, like maybe this is gross, maybe I shouldn't eat it. But I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, oh, fuck off, like this is amazing. But that is like, that's another thing that really like bothers me. I'm like, or people, they just like nitpick like every little thing about what you're eating or doing, and I'm like, stop, like I'm just trying to eat in peace, like let me eat in peace. So another one that really grinds my gears is line cutters, and this goes for like the McDonald's drive-thru. So like most McDonald's now, they have the 2 drive-thrus, and so like when you pull up, I mean, when I pull up, I pay attention to see like if this person ordered before me, and like if we both go at the same time, like I know that they ordered before me, so they go in front of me, okay, and then I go after them. Well, some people will literally just like scoot forward and forward and forward, like almost hitting your car, so that way they can get in front, even though that you were the one that had ordered first. And so when you get up to the window, like your order is supposed to be there. And I mean, it's quite funny because like there's been times where like the person really like will jump like in front of me to get in, like go first, and then they get up there and they say my order, and they're like, oh, that's not my order. I'm like, well, if you would have been patient like most people in the damn driveway, then or drive-through, you would have went behind me and realized that I was first. Like, that is one thing, like, I seriously get anxiety about going through the McDonald's drive-thru because I'm like, oh my god, like, if a bitch kind of tried to cut in front of me this time, like, I tell people that all the time when we go through McDonald's. I'm like, you know what I really hate? And that's something I really fucking hate. So, another pet peeve, this camera's probably, like, shaking like crazy because I talk, or I move when I talk, I use my hands. So, my name is H-A-N-N-A-H. You really don't see the name Hannah without the H at the end, but it bugs the shit out of me when people forget my H because I'm like, I have an H at the end. It looks extremely incomplete if I don't have it there. So that's like the one thing that these neighbor kids are so loud. That's the one thing that I'm always like, there's an H at the end. There's an H at the end. Like, I always tell people, or they'll ask me, they're like, oh, is there an H at the end? I'm like, yes, thank you for asking. So another thing when this is actually like a shout out to my husband, because when I'll ask him, I'll send him a text, either like a text or 2 texts, and it'll be like, I'll ask him like 2 questions, or I'll tell him something. He'll reply to one thing in those messages. Like, I could send him 3 messages talking about, like, you know, kind of like the same thing, but like they're talking about like there's a bunch of different things that he needs to like reply to. He'll reply to 1. It's like he picks 1 to reply to. He's like, okay, let me read this. Alright, like, I'm gonna pick this one. It's kind of like when you're answering questions in class and they're like, okay, here's a list of questions, but you can pick 1 to answer. I swear to God, that's what he does. It drives me fucking nuts. Like, just reply to all my messages. Like, when I text people, I'm like, okay, I replied to this, I replied to this, I replied to that. Like, just do it. Or when people say K, I'm like, there's an O in front of it. Okay, or O-K-A-Y. Like, I feel so appalled when people say K. I'm like, it makes me, even if they're not like mad at me, they just like, they're just saying like, okay, like that's how they say okay. I'm like, oh, like, are they mad? Like, did I do something? But I mean, that's just how they text. It just like bothers me. Or when people don't use any kind of like expression whatsoever when they're texting, it gives me like a weird vibe. Like, I always use emojis. Like, I probably go overboard when I use emojis, but I don't care. So like, when people don't use emojis with me, I'm like, is something wrong with it? Like, are you okay? Like, are you upset? Like, did I do something wrong? But really, I mean, people usually don't use a lot of emojis. Like, my husband typically doesn't use a lot of emojis. He'll use them like when he texts me because I like that. But I guess that's about all my pet peeves for right now that I can honestly think of. I'm sure later on in the day I will probably think of 100 more. I'll probably do another video later on, maybe a couple months from now. But let me know what your pet peeves are, or if you have, if you have the same pet peeves as I do, or you want to go elaborate a little bit more on your pet peeves, be sure to give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. I post videos every Monday. I'm going to try to anyways. Have a great day, guys, and I will see you next week. And if you were noticing my shirt and wondering what in the hell it says, it is all the football players from Friday Night Lights. That probably didn't do nothing, you probably couldn't see anything, but it's their last names. I got this off Etsy, I think anyways. But that's about it, guys. Bye.